Do you, was there ever any talk about doing a fourth novelization?
No. Carolco, the company that owned the rights to the first 3 films to make them, I was on very good terms with them. Mario Kassar and Andy Vanya, I saw them every time I went to Los Angeles, and we talked on the phone often, and we were in a cooperative venture. Carolco, for complex reasons, went bankrupt because of a picture called Cutthroat Island, which is the greatest financial flop in the history of film. And they sold the rights to a company called Miramax, the famous Weinstein brothers. And Miramax subsequently sold the company, or the rights to make Rambo movies, to a company called Millennium New Image, or New Image Millennium. The names are sometimes used separately. And they did not. I phoned them one day and introduced myself, and they told me they never wanted to hear from me, that they weren't interested in talking to me. So I didn't have a relationship with them.
Wow.
And whether I cannot explain why this was said to me, it has baffled me to this day that they didn't want to use my, if nothing else, my memory of the whole history of the films and the novel, but they were adamant that they did not want to talk to me. And so there was no opportunity to have the discussion about a novelization. But that said, the market had changed from the 1980s. And by 2007, which as I recall is when the film came out, there was no interest in novelizations. These days people write novels based on characters in television series such as The Killing, but nobody writes novels based upon the movie, the original movie, or the original pilot of a television series, because they can so easily see the movies or see the TV. All they have to do is stream them or get the DVD. In 1985, none of this was available. There weren't cable channels, there weren't DVDs, there wasn't streaming, and VHS tapes were very hard to come by and very expensive. So there was people who liked the movie would buy the novelization to reimagine the movie. But by 2007, that simply wasn't a factor in publishing. So even if I had a good relationship with the company, with New Image Millennium, there wouldn't have been a novelization. So, times change.
And that's kind of a disservice also, because for me, for example, reading First Blood Part 2, I read the first half of it when I bought it. I read the first half of that and Rambo 3 in the same day. And I was like, okay, I'm going to save the second half for when I do the review. And when I'm reading First Blood Part 2 the other night, it's like, it's a disservice. I would say them not doing a novelization is a disservice, because you add so much to the book that it's almost like taking the movie and then throwing it up another 10 notches.
Well, you're kind to say that, and remember, the Rambo First Blood Part 2 is a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, it's like a Western. The fight in the helicopter is like a fight on a stagecoach, and there are elements of Tarzan movies in it. It's just a lot of fun.